Now, the rest of the story.
All right, welcome back. Now, I was asked why I don't bother using the 8235R for chisel plowing. Now, as some of you may know, or the fair majority you may know, the 4640 is currently, well, not literally, but she's up on blocks. I'm still waiting on parts. Today is Monday, for anybody that's curious about the actual timeline of the events that's going on around here. I should get the parts for this tomorrow. Now, the thing is, the 4640 is my standard go-to tillage tractor for chisel plowing. It's not a very deep reason. It's not a really deep thought out reason, but it's simply because our chisel plow is a lighter chisel plow. It's not very heavy. It's taken some hits, and the problem is the 8235R is heavier. It has more traction with the front wheel assist and everything. The tractor does not give. Now we have some rocks, we have some heavier soil. The 4640, it pulls the chisel plow great. I can drop the chisel plow all the way down in the ground, and the 4640 handles it just fine. The thing is, when you start getting into some heavier pulling and you run the risk of potentially damaging stuff, the 4640 has plenty of horsepower. It has a lot of traction. It has all the extra weights. It has a full rack on the front. It has the frame weights along the side. The 4640 gives, and what I mean by that is that it does spin a little bit. The tires will start to spin. The tractor will pull down. When you start to, well, get into rockier conditions, the tractor does give a little bit. When it starts pulling hard, I have some ground that I like to chisel plow it when it's in soybean stubble going into corn. The chances of that happening this year, I didn't get to it last fall, but as far as doing it this spring, we are getting late enough now where the weather forecast is very unreliable. It's not completely and utterly bleak, but it is to the point where it isn't exactly look friendly either. So on that ground, it pulls hard, like even though it's in soybean stubble, and the 4640 does pull down. When you use the 8235R, it's a heavier tractor, plenty of horsepower, plenty of traction. I've said that enough times. And when you have that on the front of the chisel plow tends to have to give, because when the ground doesn't give or you start getting in rougher conditions, if the tractor doesn't give, something has to give. And when typically 9 times out of 10, when you start breaking stuff in the chisel plow, it's usually when that tractor is hooked on it. You have to be a little bit more cautious as an operator. You got to be a little bit more aware as far as what you're doing and what you're in and what you could potentially be hitting or running into. So that's the long and the short of it as to why I don't typically run the 8235R on the chisel plow. I wish it was deeper than that. It's not. It's literally just because for a 9-shank chisel plow that isn't, I mean, let's be honest, that chisel plow could be built a lot heavier than what it is. But the 4640 handles it better. If it was 11-shank, the 8235 would probably be doing more of the chiseling, but the problem is between grain cart duty, running the VT across everything. Last year we didn't do anhydrous, but then when you put anhydrous on top of that, so you've got 3 different jobs that tractor does in the fall, and then you add on fall primary tillage. That's 4 different tasks that one tractor has to do. That's largely why sticking with the 9-shank chisel plow, I mean, we could look at getting another 9-shank with the intentions of it just being a heavier built machine and still using the 4640, because really then you're running into the problem of you're putting a whole lot of hours and a whole lot of work and a whole lot of stress on one machine when you have another machine that would be sitting here essentially collecting dust, not really earning its keep. Not earning its keep. I actually prefer going that route. The 82 is going to end up on the VT here before long, as in within a week, potentially a day or two. My plans are right now, I'm actually going to drop the manure spreader off the 7600. I'm really thinking about hooking onto the 630 disc yet. Tonight, I may actually go out and disc down some waterways. It is too wet out right now. No jokes, if I honestly thought it was decent enough, dry enough out where I could get away with chisel plowing, I would be chisel plowing today. But we got those cows to run through. You guys saw from last night's video. It's just, we're kind of sitting at a standstill. We're just waiting for Mother Nature to decide what she wants to do. They are saying a chance of rain tonight. If we don't get any rain tonight, chances are very high that what's going to happen is that the 8235R is going to end up on the chisel plow, because the parts won't be in for that until tomorrow night. So you're looking at potentially Wednesday at the earliest before I get that up and running. But if it's going to be raining Wednesday, Thursday, which is literally what the weatherman is saying, honestly, the 82, I will not hesitate to put the 82 on it and get things done. So that's the long and the short of it, guys. Why do we not go get a bigger chisel plow or anything else like that? I think I pretty well covered that. You start getting a bigger chisel plow. People say that they pull 11 shanks or 13 shanks with tractors of this size. That's great, that's fine. For our area, the 4640 handles a 9 shank just fine. I wouldn't really think that 11 shank would be too easy on this tractor. We do a lot of spinning, we do a lot of digging. Dropping the 9 shank all the way down in the ground with this machine, it suits it just fine. It's plenty. So with that, I hope I answered your questions. I think there was a couple in there. So take care, take it easy, keep in touch. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.